Hi guys, Miss Cassy here. And if you're in my class 3.5, you know who I am. But if you're in Mr. John's class 1.2, you know who I am because you might do Tiger Team teaching with me. Or you also might know me if you're in Miss Andrea's class because you do Tiger Team teaching with me sometimes as well. And I'm going to read the first chapter of our ULS. Chapter 1, Planning for the Future. Keisha will graduate soon. What will she do? Will she get a job? Keisha will plan her future. Keisha has a planning meeting. This will help Keisha plan her future. Keisha's mother is at the meeting. Keisha's teacher is at the meeting. They will talk about what Keisha can do. Sometimes we have meetings with your parents and you, and we talk about what you can do or what you'd like to do. So maybe Miss Andrea or Mr. John has given you the torrent transition assessment, and they've asked you questions about what you'd like to do after you finish torrent. Or maybe you're in my class and I've asked you those questions about what you want to do for work, where you want to live, and what kind of community activities you would like to do. We use those questions to help plan your future. Keisha's sister graduated. Aaliyah goes to college. She lives in an apartment. Keisha's brother graduated. Tom got a job and earns money. Maybe you want to get a job. Maybe you want to live in an apartment. What would you like to do after you graduate? Keisha's teacher asks about her goals. A goal is something you are trying to reach. Keisha's goal is to live in an apartment. So maybe, again, when myself, Mr. John, Miss Andrea asked you those questions for the transition assessment about where you wanted to live and what kind of goals you had, we were helping you plan your future. Keisha needs a plan to reach her goal. Keisha needs money to live in an apartment. Keisha needs to get a job. So if she's going to live in an apartment, she's going to have to pay rent, and so she needs money. In order to get money, she needs to get a job. Keisha does not know what job to do. Keisha can try different jobs. She will find jobs she likes. She will find jobs she doesn't like. So maybe sometimes you guys try different job skills in your class. I know my class, sometimes they do recycling. I know some of you in Mr. John's class pick up bottles from the other classes with Miss Chris. What kind of job skills and training do you like to try at school? What kind of jobs do you not like? Keisha has good ideas for her plan. Now, Keisha will find a good job. Keisha's team will help her plan for her future. So remember, the people on your team helping you plan for your future are your teacher, either myself, Mr. John, or Miss Andrea, and your parents, your mom, or your dad, or your guardians that you live with. Those are the people who love you and care about you and are helping you make your plan for your future. Now, we're going to answer some questions about the chapter we just. What is this chapter about? Is this chapter about a movie? Yes or no? No, this chapter is not about a movie. Is this chapter about a planning meeting? Yes or no? Yes, this chapter is about a planning meeting. What does Keisha make to live in an apartment? Does Keisha make a picture to live in an apartment? Yes or no? No, Keisha doesn't make a picture to live in an apartment. Does Keisha make a goal to live in an apartment? Yes or no? Yes, Keisha makes a goal to live in an apartment. What does Keisha need to live in an apartment? Does Keisha need a blanket to live in an apartment? Yes or no? No, she doesn't need a blanket. She might want one, but she doesn't need it to live in an apartment. Does Keisha need money to live in an apartment? Yes or no? Yes, Keisha needs money to live in an apartment. She needs money to pay her rent. What does Keisha have for her plan? Does Keisha have food for her plan? Yes or no? No, she doesn't have food for her plan. Does Keisha have ideas for her plan? Yes or no? Yes, Keisha has ideas for her plan. What is important to know about this chapter? Is it important to know that Keisha wants to go to college? Yes or no? No, it's not important to know that Keisha wants to go to college. Is it important to know about this chapter that Keisha's team will help her plan for her future? Yes or no? Yes, it is important to know that Keisha's team will help her plan for her future. Just like your team of people who love you and care about you, like your teacher, myself, Mr. John, Miss Andrea, and your parents or guardians are people who are helping you on your team to make your plan for your future. And that's it. I hope you've enjoyed watching our Chapter 1 of ULS for this week, and I can't wait to see you next week.